everybody today? It is so dreary out. So dreary. Kind of like it though. I like this change of pace. It's good. Okay, so speaking of change of pace, we're going to talk about momentum today. I love the topic of momentum because I don't know about you, but I love to be in momentum. Would you all agree with that? Is it not a lot more fun in life and business when we feel like we're in momentum? So let me give you a picture of momentum. Momentum is like a huge train that is in motion and it just barricades through a 5-foot steel, concrete, enforced wall, right? It's moving. Nothing is going to stop that train. It is just going to go flying past through. Or you can have a train that's at a stop and a 1-inch block is sitting in front of that train, and it can actually stop the train from even starting and getting into motion. So the size of our problem is not our problem. Did y'all hear that? The size of your problem, whether that's in business, in your personal life, whatever, the size of the problem is not your problem. Could it be that momentum is your problem? Because if you were in momentum in lead generation, if you were in momentum with your database, if you were in momentum with your consultations, if you were in momentum with your pipeline, you could encounter really big obstacles and really big problems. And if your train is in motion, guys, it's just going to go barreling right through that. But if you're not in momentum, even the tiniest situations can actually keep you from getting traction. So we're going to do this in 2 parts. So today and tomorrow, I'm going to give you John Maxwell's momentum breakers and momentum makers. So, and you could potentially be in momentum. Maybe you're in momentum in your business, but you're not in momentum in your health and your physical life, right? Or vice versa, or what have you. But I want you to think right now specifically on your business and ask yourself, are you in momentum? Are you in momentum? Like, is the popcorn popping? Are you doing the activities? And I'm not saying necessarily, do you have closings right now? But are you in momentum with the seeds that you're planting and the ground that you're plowing, and you're feeling just the energy of those activities is starting to get into root? And if you say, yes, I'm feeling that momentum, then I want you to listen when I talk about what a momentum breaker is. And I want you to be on guard on the things that could be a momentum breaker. And if you're looking at me going, I am not in momentum, I am like a train at a dead stop or a slow train, and it feels like every little obstacle is derailing me along the way, that I want you to focus when I'm talking about momentum builders. Okay? I'm going to give you 5 today, and then we're going to jump into 5 of these tomorrow. Okay, so the first thing that is a momentum breaker is double-mindedness. A momentum maker is focus. A momentum breaker is double-mindedness. A momentum maker is focus, right? When we are split into 1,000 different directions, I want you to think of it like a rabbit trail. You're not going to be in momentum when you're in a rabbit trail. Is your business constantly going on rabbit trails? You've committed. You're going to do like Brian Fitzpatrick. You're going to send 10 unsolicited CMAs a day. And then like 4 days later, you're like, maybe I should do something different. And you're off on a rabbit. You'll never gain momentum on a rabbit trail. Focus, people. Focus is a gift of momentum. All right. Momentum is developed by a clear and focused vision statement. It is drained by shooting at nothing or attempting everything. Are you clear about your purpose? Are you clear about the goal? Do you know why you're doing what you're doing? Have you built this out with the end in mind? Do you have clarity on your focus? All right, number 2, a momentum breaker is the past. A momentum maker is the future. A momentum breaker is the past and a momentum maker is the future, meaning are we focused on what could have been, what should have been, what was? Are we thinking about our glory days in real estate in 2021 when we had our best GCI year ever? And oh, what could have been? Or are we thinking about the business that we're building for the future? Right? Are we thinking about the glory days of the past when we didn't have Form 2406? And we think, why fix what wasn't broken? It worked so great. Guys, that's a momentum killer. Onward. We got Form 2406 and lots of other new forms, right? We're going vision for the future. How is this going to look in your business? Let's move forward. The past will always kill momentum. All right, number 3, momentum breaker is being an individual. Momentum maker is team. Momentum breaker is individual. If you are in momentum, you need to connect in with the group because you're in momentum. I think sometimes we think we're in momentum. I don't need to come to stuff. I don't need to tune into Huddle anymore. I'm in momentum. Wow. Guess what? You worked hard to get into momentum. Don't lose it. Momentum is so hard to make and so easy to lose. Momentum makers is team. And when you come together, guys, that's the power of this huddle. That's the power of coming today at 11 on Wednesdays, right? And being together in the room. That's the power of group coaching. That is what it's about. It's about creating team together to make momentum. All right. The 4th momentum breaker is a critical attitude. A momentum maker is a constructive attitude. Yes, it's actually different. I think sometimes we get them a little bit confused. A critical attitude is going to be looking for problems without looking for solutions. It's going to be nitpicky. It's picking things apart for the sake maybe of making ourselves feel better, right? It's picking apart somebody else's business that is in momentum when we're not in momentum and saying, well, you know, they didn't really earn that. They didn't really, you know, they just got lucky or some ridiculous nonsense like that, right? It's being critical as opposed to being constructive and saying, okay, how do I get to show up different? What do I need to do different? How do I come at this problem from a different solution? That's constructive. All right. Number 5, momentum breaker. Tradition, momentum maker, creativity. So tradition, we all have our traditions that we love. But here's what should never happen in our businesses. But we've always done it that way. That's not just a momentum killer, you guys. That is a business killer. That is how businesses go out of business because, quote, we have always done it that way, right? Well, we just should fix what wasn't broken. And sometimes just doing it okay or doing it good the same way we've always done it is prohibiting us from doing something the best way. It's not, are we doing this in a good way? Are we doing this in the very possible best way that it could even be done? Break out of that traditional thinking. Always test what works now, today. It's going to be different than maybe what worked 6 months ago or a year ago. I mean, real estate, because the industry changes so fast, but not just that, the market changes, right? It's get rid of models and systems do stand the test of time, but get rid of the idea of because something worked yesterday that it has to work today. Learn to move fast, understand problems, and then question both tradition and innovation. Just because it's a new idea doesn't make it a good idea, right? All new ideas are not good ideas. They have to be fleshed and tested. But momentum builders are when we start thinking creatively. Okay, those are your 5 for today. I'm going to give you 5 more tomorrow. All right.